I'm in Banjul from our studios on MDI Road. We begin with the headlines. I'm your presenter, Jainaba Jallo. Getting closer to the people to understand development. President Robert Mugabe is still a major force in the country. We political analysts what they think about the coming polls in Zimbabwe. These and other stories coming ahead in this hour. Thank you for joining us. We begin this special news hour with a press release from State House which announces that His Excellency President Adama Barrow will on Sunday, 29 July 2018, travel to Lomé, Togo to attend the Joint Economic Community of Central African States and Economic Community of West African States, Authority of Heads of State and Government Summit on Security, Stability and the Fight Against Terrorism and Violent Extremism from the 30th to the 31st July 2018. Following their joint and ECAS and ECOWAS summit in Lomé, Togo, the President will continue to the Federal Republic of Nigeria to deliver the graduation lecture at the National Defense College of Nigeria, course 26 from the 1st to the 2nd of August 2018 on the theme Democratic Principles and Post-Conflict Peace Building, Imperatives for the West African Sub-Region. President Barrow will depart the Banjul International Airport by 12 p.m. All those invited to see of the President of the Republic are urged to be at the airport at least half an hour before the usual ceremonies. Now it was indeed a moment to get closer to the citizenry and understand the Gambia's development needs. His Excellency President Adama Barrow capped off his nationwide dialogue with the people tour that saw him visit every part of the Gambia, meeting communities and inspecting project sites with a major gathering in the island capital city of Banjul. Traveling with the presidential tour delegation, Suma Jadama tells us more about the climax of President Barrow's first major countrywide outing since assuming power.
The 12th day intensive presidential nationwide dialogue with the People's Tour finally ends on Friday in Banjul. A journey that started on a very clear footing meant for people to inform the presidency on issues frustrating their development efforts was also used by the Gambian leader to spread the noble and ambitious national development plan as the right tool to overshadow the development nightmare of Gambians. Banjul, which was the last port of call for this year's presidential tour, that started from the North Bank community of Bara all through the northern and southern parts of CRR and URR, back to West Coast and KMC through LRR, is expected to tackle key development concerns of the country. The President's last meeting in Banjul, which was attended by cabinet ministers, development partners and cross-section of the society, opportuned the mayoress of the city, Rohi Maliklo, and several other speakers to raise concerns on waste management, drainage and sewage facilities, poor internal road network as challenges confronting BCC.
Drainage bi nga am sewage bi soo na la Banjul suñ mbaliti soo na la Banjul bi ma toogee ba léegi amul bés bu ma dut Sénégal waaye nag dañ fi fekk tilim bu yàgga Président Barrow Banjul am nañ ci yow yaakaar ñu di la ñaan nga jàppale ñu.
In his address, the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, Ousainou A.N.M. Dabo, called on Gambians to adhere to the Constitution of the Gambia as a step to harness the gains made in the country's democracy.
Freedom nan ko doxal ci anam boo xam ne dafa nekk pour njëriñu réew mi mooy ne nga gis dara loo xam ne lépp nangu nañ ne nga wax ci loolu da ko def pour réew mi dem ci kanam waaye nag nga dem fale nga jël ay fen yu tooy jël ko sànni ko ci kaw nit yëpp nga ne freedom of expression la loolu doy waar la de loolu benn démocratie nangul ko.
Responding to the concerns raised by Banjulians, President Barrow assured them of his government's commitment in tackling the ongoing sewage, drainage and deplorable road conditions of the city. He also revealed that the implementation of NDP will accelerate the socio-economic opportunities of the capital, while stressing the need for citizens to respect law enforcers of the country.
dinañ liggéey biir Banjul bi ko fii lañ bokk waaye soo ko tekkee problème Banjul yëpp ñaar ñetta ba ñenent la bu si gën a nekk problème mooy affaire yi yoon affaire yi sewage affaire yi drainage yooyu problème yu rëy la fu mu nekk ni Gam Works am na yoon yu nga xam ne war nañ koo start wala start nañ ko bañ.
The Ministers for Works and Lands by Lamin Job and Musa S. Drame promised to address the highlighted problems of Banjulians through their ministries. Suma Jadama reporting for GRTS.
Staying with the executive, the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, Usainu Dabo, has affirmed government's commitment to the realization of universal health coverage in the Gambia. Usainu Dabo was speaking today at Busumbala, where he presided over the inauguration of the new Jamano Clinic. The health facility is a private establishment which aims to provide quality, affordable and accessible healthcare services to the people of Busumbala and the environs. Madeline Baji has that story.
This health facility was born out of the drive to ensure that every Gambian has access to health care, as well as complement government's development efforts in maintaining a healthy nation. This, the Vice President maintained, is a call that every Gambian should respond to.
This clinic supplements the efforts of the government of the Gambia for efficient, effective, and affordable health service. This clinic is testimony to the contents of the nation's National Development Plan in respect to health delivery matters.
The Regional Health Director, Western 2, underscored the importance of improved health care delivery to socio-economic development. The proprietors of the facility reaffirmed their commitment to adequately respond to the health needs of the people of the community.
The initiative was thought of after a careful consideration of the clarion call of His Excellency President Adama Barrow for investors and entrepreneurs to come and support the development agenda of the New Gambia. Idris, a resident of Maryland, but who hails from Busumbala, decided that this first initiative must be established in Busumbala here, as there is urgent need to supplement government efforts in healthcare delivery service within this catchment area. Busumbala and Farato has an estimated population of 250,000 people.
With the inauguration of Jamano Clinic, it is envisaged that the people of Busumbala and its environs will benefit immensely from these services.
We see people in the morning and in the afternoon shift. We intend to include the night shift as the demand comes. That's the situation for now. We are trying to expand too. We have a place behind this structure here that we're trying to renovate and convert it to a maternity wing where pregnant women can deliver, and to offer antenatal services and welfare clinics as well, and immunizations.
Reporting for GRTS News, I am Madeline Baji.
The Gambia has joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Hepatitis Day with a call for collective efforts to raise awareness on the viral endemic and the particular need for early testing and treatment to combat the disease. Seydou Kamara witnessed the day's celebration.
As the international community commemorates World Hepatitis Day, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare joined efforts with relevant stakeholders to raise awareness on the disease. According to officials, hepatitis infection is widely spread, affecting 4 million people worldwide, more than 10 times the number of people infected with HIV each year.
Hepatitis B virus infection is more prominent in the WHO African region and the Western Pacific. Sadly, most people in these regions who need treatment have not been treated, likely due to lack of awareness and access to hepatitis diagnosis and or treatment services.
Head of the Gambia Hepatitis Intervention Study, Dr. Ramunjai, stated that only 5% of people with chronic hepatitis knew their status, and that less than 1% have access to treatment for a disease that can be fully prevented and treated.
Staggering finding that we found from this is that liver cancer is the commonest cancer that kills more Gambian men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s than all other cancers combined. So this was a staggering finding from the cancer registry. We also found out that in those over 50, over 3/4 of the cancers are actually caused by hepatitis B virus.
WHO country representative Dr. Desta Terune highlighted the significance of raising awareness of the disease. He encouraged people to go for voluntary testing and vaccination. He assured his office continuous support and commitment to work with the Minister of Health in eliminating hepatitis and other related health issues in the Gambia.
1 out of 10 people who have been infected with the virus come and get tested. And we want all to get tested and know their status so that they can be treated and they can prevent also the bad consequences like liver cancer, chronic liver disease, and eventually also from dying also from viral hepatitis.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohamed Lamin Jaite, thanked partners for their efforts in eliminating hepatitis in the country. Mr. Jaite noted that hepatitis B and C virus are the leading cause of cancer in the world, adding that more than 80% of those affected with viral hepatitis are unaware of their status.
Viral hepatitis does not restrict itself to one specific region of or people, but is found worldwide, making it a global epidemic. In the Gambia, previous research has shown that nearly 1 in every 10 individuals is infected with hepatitis B virus.
Dozens of people participated in the voluntary blood testings on the disease during the program, which also shows a captivating drama performance on the dangers associated with hepatitis.
Get vaccinated. Have no fear about the vaccine or doubt.
Seydou Camara, GRTS News.
The Gambia International Airlines has successfully airlifted its first batch of pilgrims set to fulfill the Hajj and fifth pillar of Islam in the holy city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia. By Ibrahim Cham was at the airport and reports. Both optimistic passengers and GIA officials are looking forward to a successful and hitch-free Hajj.
A total of 437 Gambian pilgrims checked into the Banjul International Airport Friday evening to board the GIA chartered flight of 440 seats, journeying to the Hajj in the holy city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, to conduct the fifth pillar of Islam. Consisting of mostly elderly men and women, young Ami Jallo brings immense youthful energy into his holy voyage. Here she expresses her gratitude for being able to embark on such a journey at her age.
I'm looking forward to a pleasant but also a tough journey, knowing that anything that comes with a blessing doesn't come easy. And I'm grateful that God has given me an opportunity to be going on this Hajj.
Sitting at the VIP lounge, the governor of the Lower River region, Fanta Bojang Samatemane, and National Assembly Majority Leader Keba K. Barrow both underlined the importance of performing the Hajj pilgrimage to fulfill the fundamental Islamic practice necessary to complete the commandments of God.
Hajj is very, very important. As a Muslim, it's everybody's wish at least to witness the holy Kaaba, to see the holy Kaaba at least once in your lifetime.
As a believer, all Muslims are equal under the eyes of the Almighty. We are more equal, we are more closer to our Lord if we perform more duties that we do better than others.
After going through the normal checking procedures, the intending pilgrims finally boarded the aircraft. We spoke to the presidential advisor on religious matters, Dembo Bojang, who ascribed the great success and well-organized Hajj departure to early preparations and the proper planning advance.
This is a moment of history, that everything went intact. Visa issuing went intact. The first flight is never failed. We are here witnessing the first flight of the Hajj.
The GIA Managing Director Lamin Cham assured pilgrims that this might be one of the best Hajj missions undertaken, as GIA has done all necessary groundwork and secured premium hotels very near to the holy sites, and also hired well-experienced Hajj guides to make the pilgrimage hitch-free.
Accommodations in Mecca and Medina are extremely good. The one in Medina is a 4 or 5 star, less than 100 meters from Holy Prophet's mosque, peace be upon him. And then that of Mecca is a 670 meters distance from the Holy Kaaba. So this year, our pilgrims will be able to perform their daily 5 prayers quite easily at these 2 mosques.
After witnessing a successful takeoff, the Banjul International Airport looks forward to 2 other flights by private agents, as this year's Hajj packages have been liberalized for travel companies to freely engage and maximize their ventures. And by Ibrahim Chan.
We wish them all a successful Hajj. National nutrition officials are advancing the implementation of a roving scheme that seeks to build resilience through social transfer for nutritional security in the Gambia. The €3 million EU-funded project targets vulnerable women and children under 2 years facing the threat of malnutrition. Modu Bajan reports.
Lobi Ture and Mer Seka are both residents of Cheken near Ngen Sanjar in the North Bank region. They told GRTS that the monthly $600 they receive from the Building Resilience through Social Transfer for Nutrition Security in the Gambia Breast Project is crucial. This, they say, has contributed in protecting their kids against malnutrition, which affects 25% of the in Farafene. National Nutrition Agency, NANA Deputy Executive Director, who is equally the Breast Project Coordinator, Malang Fofana, informed the gathering of the countries on the nutrition and other health issues which they seek to mitigate.
We've realized that in the rainy season, that's where we have most of the children getting malnourished. And therefore, we need to prepare ourselves as how best can we support mothers to be able to prevent their children from becoming malnourished. But at the same time, if they are malnourished, what they can do to rehabilitate or improve their conditions.
Similarly, North Bank Governor Ibrahim Adamfa, while welcoming the gathering, indicated the need to boost cooperation and share experiences as regards handling severe and acute malnutrition. European Union Project Coordinator Darrell Sexton also dilated on the aims of the cash transfer project, which include the encouragement of exclusive breastfeeding to mitigate undernutrition.
The project has in effect been providing a 600 Gambian Dalasi monthly cash transfer to 6,000 mothers with children under the age of 2. The project has also been providing support to improve knowledge, practice and behaviour of households in adequately feeding children via an approach known as infant and young child feeding and safe hygiene and sanitation practices. As such, the project intervention approach is attempting to address some of the underlying causes of malnutrition.
During regional and other presentations, Majula Kuyati of URR Health Directorate solicited for intensified efforts on social and behavioral change communication and help for parents and their infants to obtain national documents including birth certificates. Katin Jiba, a monitoring and evaluation officer at NANA, also called for proper data gathering and processing so as to avoid over or underreporting of malnutrition. Lasting for 3 years, the breast project is set with an opportunity to reduce maternal mortality to less than 75 deaths per 100,000 and under 5 deaths to lower than 25 per 1,000, in line with SDG targets. Modu Bajan, GRTS.
The National Women's Council, in collaboration with the Gambia Women's Bureau, recently organized a forum for women leaders across the country. The roundtable is meant to further encourage women to take up their roles and responsibilities in national development initiatives. Khadija Tujuara has more on that.
The program created an opportunity for the women leaders to exchange ideas and experiences on how best to enhance women empowerment. The chairperson, National Women's Council, Ami Fabure, said the training will sharpen the skills and knowledge of the councillors in addressing the socio-economic challenges faced by women in contributing their quota to nation building.
As councillors, we have very important tasks ahead to be fulfilled, because Gambian women, they rely on us 100%. So it means we have to fulfill our promises. We have to come together, work closely together, so that at least our nation can be developed.
She noted that teamwork is vital for national development and advised the women councillors to be proactive in promoting the welfare of women in their communities. The Executive Director, Women's Bureau, Fanta Baiseka, advised the participants to continue to be the voice of women and girls in the decision-making process.
Your role as council is very important for the women that you are representing. It's not an easy task. It's a very difficult task, but together, as a team, I'm certain that we will be able to address the challenges that women are faced with, and also ensure that the women of the Gambia are empowered.
Reporting for GRTS News, I am Khadija Tujuara.
The Minister of Agriculture, Lamin Ndiba, has received the Chinese Ambassador Zhang Jiming and experts from the Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Science in the Gambia on a 10-day study visit. The group is here to prepare the ground for the Africa Beijing Summit, slated to take place later this year. Senabu Jain has more.
Agriculture Minister Lamin Ndiba received the Chinese ambassador and experts from the Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Science on mission to support the Gambia's food production sector. Minister Ndiba hailed the cooperation between the two countries, noting that the relationship dates back to 5 decades, years of bilateral ties which have paid immense dividends. He further highlighted what he described as high development expectations in the cooperation with genuine partners like China, committed to assisting national endeavors.
The expectation from our side is very high, and we cannot do it alone. We need partners, genuine partners like Chinese, to assist in our endeavor to progress in this country. I would want to encourage my staff also to work with.
To understand key aspects of challenges derailing the sector. The Chinese ambassador to the Gambia, Zhang Jiming, outlined that agriculture is a priority area in the cooperation between China and the Gambia.
China attaches a great importance to its relations with Gambia, especially in speedily carrying out cooperation in the area of agriculture. China supports National Development Plan of the government of the Gambia. And this cooperation in agriculture has, as Right Honorable just said, that has a long history. And the purpose here, I think, of this delegation is to carry out the feasibility study for China-Gambian Agricultural Technological Cooperation Program. This program has 2 components.
The ambassador further outlined the major components in the program, which aims to bring Chinese experts to the Gambia for technological transfer and training and the provision of labor-saving agricultural devices. Jane for GRTS News.
a strange fire incident in Julangel village in the Jimara district, Upper River region, had an entire household in a rather desperate situation. The fire reportedly started on Wednesday, has since been shifting from one room to another several days, destroying everything in its way. The cause of the blaze is still unknown. Our reporter in the region, Ibrahim Jallo, traveled to the scene to find more.
This is the Saho family in Julangel village. People living in this compound have been sleepless for 4 consecutive days due to a rare fire incident that emerges spontaneously. When the fire is put out in one room, another room will be on fire in the next 30 minutes or so. And this has been the case for 4 days, eyewitnesses told GRTS.
Everybody see the things here. Okay, even the village, we have not go to anywhere. We have to sit to wait this fire. Because if you sit in 1 hour time, fire will come out. We start this room, we put the water there, after then we go to bath, another bedroom. So it's just around the whole compound. We have no anything at the moment here. We cannot go to the bush, we have to sit to make these things, because people cannot move to go anywhere. So everybody have to sit to help these people.
Amazingly, the fire targets only the household belongings and not the wall and roof of the houses. This small hut in particular was prone to the blaze, which pulled attention of the entire community. Alhaji Saho is the household head. He lamented frustration about the unusual disaster he witnessed for the first time, and that his family was left in a dilemma. He said the damages were immeasurable as the problem continues. The victims appealed for support from relevant authorities and philanthropists. The councillor for Julangel Ward, Ibrahim Mane, said the fire and rescue services were needed on the ground to handle the situation.
But were they not here around? Because they should be here, even because something that is, that from 2 days back, every maybe 2 hours the fire occurs. So therefore, there should be a standby fire service at the place.
Fire officers and disaster management representatives in the region were not available for comments. Meanwhile, the family and sympathizers could not go about their daily farming activities, despite farming being their source of living. Ibrahim Jallo, reporting from Basse in the Upper River region.
Residents of Tabukoto recently embarked on a road rehabilitation exercise at one of the most dilapidated roads in the Fajikunda area. Janke Ture joined the community development activity, and she now tells us more.
Mostly used by commuters in Tabukoto, the condition of this road is in a deplorable condition. It is even more difficult to utilize during rainy season. As community intervention is key, residents in the area took up the challenge to individually seek for donations to better the road condition. This, they believe, is their contribution towards the nation development. One of them explains how the dilapidated road has challenged their mobility, particularly for market women.
Almost for the past 10 years, every year we do the same thing. But this year, we came with a different idea. That is at least to ask for seek for donations from passerbys. If you can see my bucket, people are helping. Definitely, when it rains, nobody access to this route. That is why we decided, after collecting donations, we ourselves, this caterpillar who is doing the work today.
A caterpillar was used to gravel the road, while neighbors could also be seen using spades to spreading gravel on the ground. Dilating on the matter, the ward councillor of Fajikunda, Baba Jabi, assured of council's intervention to mitigate the area's road challenges.
This is just a temporary work. Then we see, maybe rather we are in the rainy season. Road rehabilitation in the rainy season is not easy. But in the dry season is the high time, or is the better time to do the job. So by now, from now against January, then I can promise them that then we'll see how best we can do to make it better than how it is now, right now.
Lamin Jaju and Aja Senabudem equally expressed difficulty regarding usage of the road, calling on government and philanthropists to boost their road maintenance endeavor. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Jenke Ture.
Well, that brings us to our first break. The sports is next in just a moment.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's why we want you to see it, just as we see it now. LG OLED TV.
I'm tired of the same things, the same stress and the struggles every day. Time is money, we don't have time to delay. No more struggles every day. We don't need hustles and the long queue just to buy cash power. 77, don't suffer just to pay your bills. Know your balance and buy some goods. Send some money to your family. 77, access your account and get a mini statement. Get a checkbook, post up a check. Fast, secure, reliable. 737. You can be a doctor or a fisherman, teacher or a carpenter man. 737 is for everyone. Jamano de Valenta, Kododo Bola Yadoko, the GT Banco, Velenti Babao. Every time of the day, spend your money anywhere you want. Every time of the day, you want my get a loco.
Grts News. Now, a major problem confronting Gambian sports has been the lack of sufficient government funding. It's a concern the new sports minister also shares and has promised to tackle as he makes renewed commitment to the provision of necessary funding for sports development. Hadrame Sidibe was speaking in an exclusive interview with Grts Sports.
Has always been an issue. How would you intend to tackle the funding gap for these associations, knowing that a lot of the funding goes to football?
Not necessarily a lot of funding. All the funding goes to football. One thing you must also realize, football is also at the top of the agenda. It unites people, and as far as I know, is the richest industry in the world.
Well, from sports, we move on to the international news.
Not now. I promised to buy cash power today.
Stop complaining and use your officer line to get us cash power.
My officer line? Officer?
Oh yes, with your officer line. To buy your cash power, simply dial *777# to access your officer money account and choose buy cash power. Register your meter number, enter the amount of cash power you want to buy, and then enter your officer money PIN code to confirm your transaction.
But how can I refill my officer money account?
You can top up your officer money account with no extra charges from any officer outlet near you, or simply at any shop or bank where you see a sign that says officer money available here. Buy your cash power now straight from your officer money account at the cheapest cost ever. That's 50% less than the fees of other operators. A price nobody dares to match. Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Welcome back to Grts News. In the international news, we head to Zimbabwe, where longtime leader Robert Mugabe may be out of power and not contesting the elections, but the former president is still a major force in the country. Analysts say he is likely to have a say in how voting pans out in the polls. CGTN's Farai Mukatuya explains.
Mugabe's name still features prominently here, but there's one place it won't be for the first time in 37 years. Everything was on course for the long-serving leader to run for and secure another term that would secure him power until the age of 99. All that changed last November in very dramatic circumstances. But he's still going to be a factor in the forthcoming poll.
You know, we got excited about the removal of Mugabe, but two things remain intact. The ZANU-PF system of governance and also Mugabe's supporters. Mugabe's supporters were not destroyed. And they are appearing, all these rallies where there are people are saying ZANU-PF, ZANU-PF, they are there, they are not hiding. But they are waiting to use their vote against Mnangagwa.
The relationship between former mentor and right-hand man has soured so much that Mnangagwa accuses Mugabe's wife of plotting a failed assassination attempt last month. Mugabe will be in unfamiliar territory when he casts his ballot on July 30th. Mugabe's been linked to a new opposition National Patriotic Front party, but is believed to have switched allegiances. Speculation is rife that he will endorse the party he loathed when he was still in charge of the ruling ZANU-PF.
I don't know whether right now he still believes that ZANU-PF is his party, because he believes ZANU-PF betrayed him. He believes his once trusted lieutenants betrayed him. So for now, what Robert Mugabe is looking at is just spoiling the party, making sure that these guys do not get the required support that they want. And if that does not happen through the National Patriotic Front, which is pretty clear to him now because it has made no impact on the political landscape, then through Chamisa.
The MDC Alliance leader has publicly denied links to the deposed former president. Farema Kutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.
A gold mine in the east region of Siberia has been identified as the first BRICS multilateral project that could signify the most significant and practical move towards showing how the private and public sectors in member countries can work together. It involves a pre-production investment of $500 million. The money will come from the Sun Group, China National Gold, the Russian Sovereign Investment Fund, and the Far East and Balkan Region Development Fund. CGTN's Angelo Coppola has more.
Group. It's an open-cast gold mine, and production estimates are pegged at around 6.5 tons per annum when it's in full production.
Well, we're very excited about this grouping, and we're very proud that, you know, it's a new model of collaboration. Someone said to me, this is really BRICS 2.0, and we believe that bringing the complementarity of partners from different parts of the world, public and private, and bringing them in a way that it's not about who's leading and who's not leading, it's about being a team and really putting your weight behind it.
The Sun Group looked at several possibilities before selecting this particular mine.
It's a brownfield. It has significant resources in the ground. We've spent a number of years developing a full feasibility study. It's a low-risk, low-cost producer, and it'll be built within the next 24 to 36 months, and will be a significant boost for the region where the mine is, in Chita, in eastern Siberia.
The involvement of this diverse group of investors doesn't stop with the mine. There are other opportunities that will be explored.
We said, let's bring in some investors from South Africa and from Brazil that have some experience potentially in mining, but have an interest in BRICS, and with whom we can work on other transactions in these geographies as well. And so we've opened up the equity for them as well.
It's been billed as one of the first BRICS public-private sector partnerships, and we'll know in 5 years or so whether it's been successful or not. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Sandton, South Africa.
And before we take leave of you, a recap of the day's main stories. Getting closer to the people to understand development needs, President Adama Barrow has capped off his nationwide dialogue with the people tour with a major meeting in the capital city, Banjul. The first batch of intending pilgrims have left the shores of Banjul for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj in the holy city of Mecca. His Excellency, the Vice President Ousseynou Dabo, has underlined government's commitment to making universal health coverage a reality in the Gambia as he inaugurates a new clinic in Busumbala. Plus, he may be out of power and not contesting the upcoming election, but former Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe is still a major force in the country, according to analysts. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and do stay on with GRTS for more exciting programs.